Going for it again. It's a good day. It is a good day here. All right. I'm probably not going to stay on super long this morning. Um, I don't know. We'll see. It might be fine. Let me put on my AI chatbot. Here he goes. Start it up. It said new major version of NPM available. All right, I'll hit that here in a sec. I think it's ready to go. Let's see. Let me open up my manage screen. Guess. Over here. AI. What is the point of AI? What is the point of bad music anyway? That's a good question. What am I doing? It's the reaction? That's a pretty decent answer, I guess. All right. So let's see. What are we doing? Let's look at my actual exorcism. Let's see where we were at. Check out our coding fundamentals course for beginners. You know, what is this actually? Oh, this is the boot camp. Okay, that's fine. All right. PHP last touched 2 hours ago? What? Wait a minute. Was I on here 2 hours ago? At 6 o'clock? I don't think so. So what is it saying? PHP last touched 2 hours ago. Why is it saying that? Is that messed up? Hold on. I might have had it open. I might have had a tab open. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think I did. So what does it mean last touched 2 hours ago? Could I have opened a tab on my phone? Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hmm. Seven months ago. So, wait a minute. Okay, so first of all, I need to, like, star the Exorcism GitHub, because I'm gonna be on here more often. Okay, so look. PHP updated here 2 hours ago, alright? And my guess is that they may have made an update to that exercise. The exercise is called Meetup. And yes, it's updated 2 hours ago, right here. So when they updated this file, I guess my track got touched as well. I don't think it's supposed to. I think that should be considered a bug. Interesting. Holy crap. That's a huge test file. My goodness gracious. Wow. Huh. Amazing. Okay, so one thing I wanted to look at is the different shell script languages. So one of them is batch script, one of them is bash, and one of them is PowerShell. Where's PowerShell? Right down here close to the bottom. All right. Some of these others, well, okay, hold on. So about batch script. They only have 21 exercises for batch script. All right. One of them is the hello world, so that really doesn't count. See, these are some of the most common exercises on the site, right? Okay, so if we look at this exercise, leap, this one is available on all 77 tracks. This one is universal. This one, also universal. Good. Close these. This one, 69. So not universal, but 69 is the great majority, right? There's only 8 There's only 8 that don't have it. This one, acronym, 75. So that's quite close to universal, but not quite there. There are still 2 holdouts. Armstrong numbers. Oh, I have tracks there. 73, only 4 others. Hamming. $74, just 3 more. Darts. 70, just 7 more. Twofer. 72, just 5 more. Right? So these are pretty close to 71 is, of course, the great majority. Clock. Oh, interesting. So clock is 52. So that is the majority, but it's not an overwhelming majority like all the others that we've seen here so far, right? So there are actually 25 that don't have it. So it's a great majority, but like, yeah, these are, so we have these two, which are actually universal, 100%. Then these are, you know, very high. But this one is only about 2/3, right? 52 have it, 25 don't. Scrabble score, let's take a look. 73, that's the great majority. Series, 52 again. So that's the same number as clock, but it's not the same exact tracks, right? So clock is on ABAP, for example, and series is not. They are both on Arturo, for example. They're both on Crystal. They're both on Cairo. Wait. Yeah, next to each other. So 8th. So we swap 8th and ABAP, and then the rest of this list is the same until we get to what? This one has Delphi Pascal. And this one has D. Oh, no, this one, they both have Delphi Pascal. This one has D and this one doesn't. Anyway, just put that back. Okay. Grains. Grains doesn't sound familiar. I'm not sure I've done grains. 71 different languages. Oh, I haven't completed it in any of them. Oh, it says right here, you've not yet completed it in any languages. So this one I've done in 3. This one I've done in 2. Oh, clock I have not yet done in any. Let me try grain. What is grains? So this is called... Yeah, this is a funny one. I've not yet completed it in any languages. Okay, so let's start there for today. 3 in Q3. Okay, so grains. Grains. Okay, so I have it 3 times here in my spreadsheet. So I'm going to try and complete it 3 times. Oh, let's try it in Nim. That sounds like a good one. Let's hit it. Okay. So let's go to Nim on exorcism. And find grains. There it is. Grains. It's an easy. Calculate the number of grains of wheat. Okay, so let's hit it. So this time, so I'm not very familiar with Nim, and in fact, when I did a little bit of Nim last year, I made some goofy mistakes, like just not understanding the language. So, for sure this time, I'm gonna go on to learn X in Y minutes and just read on Nim. Let me paste this first. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Whoa, Nim has a crown emoji in Starship? That's the default? That's that's pretty based. Way to go, Nim the king. Or is it a queen? I'm not sure. Alright, let's find Nim. So, Nim, I guess it's pretty popular. Learn X in Y minutes, where X equals Nim. Okay, but what does Y equal? I feel, you know, before I ever visited this site, I imagined that they would always have a number. Like, how many minutes is it supposed to be? X equals Nim. How many minutes? How many minutes is it supposed to be? I thought they would say that up top. Nim, formerly Nimrod. I must admit, I think For me personally, Nimrod is a better name than Nim, but is a statically typed imperative programming language that gives the programmer power without compromises on runtime efficiency. Nim is efficient, expressive, and elegant. Well, there we go. It's a winner. All right. Single line comments start with a hash. A multi-line comment starts with a hash square bracket. In Nim, multi-line comments can be nested beginning with hash square bracket and ending in square bracket hash. Lovely. Discard. This can also work as a multi-line comment or for unparsable broken code. So we put discard here to get rid of the multi-line string. And of course, this is what we know from Python. And as we know, it doesn't say it here, but Nim has a Python-inspired vibe, right? Like, a lot of it is supposed to look at least a bit like Python. It's not really that close, but closer than most. Okay, so we chose var, declare, and assign variables with or without type annotations. So we chose letter, and the type is char, and it's assigned the value of n. Okay, fun. Lang, okay, so string n and im. So I guess we're going to use this and for concat, which is the same as cold fusion. We saw that the other day. So that's neat. I like double plus for concat myself, but and is cool too. N length. Okay, so we chose len of lang. Okay, cool. So that should come out as 3 by the look of things. And this len is, you know, like we do in Python and Go for that matter. Here we say boat is going to be a float, but we did not choose to assign it to something here. If we do try to access it, do we get a 0.0? I think we'll find out. Truth bool equals false. Okay, so then we can choose let. Use let to declare and bind variables once. All right, so legs equals 400. That's immutable. A underscore are ignored and are useful for long numbers, right? So we can use that in a number. Fancy. And about pi, is it close-ish to 3.15? Sure, yeah, close. Const. Constants are computed at compile time. This provides performance and is useful in compile time expressions. Interesting, interesting. You know, so if we do pi 1, 1, so we can't do a decimal point if we're trying to do it like this. But let's just say 3, 1. I don't know what I'm trying to do. So if we go 3, until all the decimal points go away. What does that do? What does that mean? I don't know. Where am I? Let's see. Wait a minute. So if I were to do that, we should really be multiplying by 2 to the power of something, right? Till all the decimal points go away, right? Base 4, do we ever use base 4? I mean, not that I know of. Alright, so let's see what we've got going here. Constants are computed at compile time. This provides performance and is useful in compile time expressions. Okay, debug equals true, compile bad code equals false. Okay, so they're bringing up the concept of compile time expressions right off the bat. That's good. I think that's good. I don't think I'm going to use them for exercises. But maybe. When is a compile time if? This error will never be compiled. Const values must be known at compile time. When compile bad code. So we didn't choose that. So we chose legs equals legs plus 1, but we can't do that because we used let. So if we try to use equals, it will say, excuse me, did you not just say let? Const input. Okay, so const values must be known at compile time. So this is another error, right? Discard 1 greater than 2. The compiler will complain if the result of an expression is unused. Discard bypasses this, okay? Data structures, tuples. All right, I gotta step aside for probably 5 minutes. That thing's way too high again, what the heck? All right. I guess I ought to fix that in the actual script. All right. Okay, let's see here. Um, Data structures, tuples. So it looks like they're just named as tuples. They have both field names and order. Okay. And so we say child equals and assign all at once with literal parentheses, I guess. Assign individual fields or by index. Convenient, I guess. Two tuples are the same as long as they have the same type and the same constants, or contents. Goodness, contents. All right. Sequences. Var drinks of type sequence string. Okay. So with this this is the sequence literal. Okay. They added a milk, and so if milk in drinks echo, we have milk and other drinks, I guess. Okay. And we chose my drink from out of there. Defining types. Defining your own types puts the compiler to work for you. It's what makes static typing powerful and useful. Okay. Type name equals string. A type alias gives you a new type that is interchangeable with the old type, but is more descriptive. Fair enough. A data structure. A person could be a tuple of name and age. A good example, I suppose. And another syntax where we choose a tuple where these are just indented and we leave off the square brackets. So that's fun too. And then we could choose John to be a person like this. Very neat. And it would be better to use age than int. Okay, so cool, I guess. But it still works because int and age are synonyms. Okay, so here's another type. Distinct makes a new type incompatible with its base type. Oh no. So now if we try to make it an int, it will say, oh no. But we can put .cache on the int literal, and now it's our type. Okay, we have to say, so now we have to be, I guess, explicit. So we write out the string literal like normal, but then we're like, oh, excuse me, I mean it's a desk. Okay. So John age equals money. Ah, so we cannot put cash in here as an age, right? So it's interchangeable with int, but it's not interchangeable with cash, although it could be if we got rid of distinct. Compiler says no way. Okay. More types and data structures. Objects are similar to tuples, but they require names of the fields. Oh, did they tell us that we can have a tuple without a name? I guess they must have. Tuples have both field names and order. Reference to an object, useful for big objects or objects inside objects. Change the default value of a field since nim 2.0. Cool. A house is an object with an address and rooms, which could be various rooms. Okay. So we're gonna say a default house like this. Create new instance of ref object with default values. Okay, fair enough. Create and initialize instances with given values. So a sesame room like this, I guess, and a sesame house like such. Okay, so did we say, so this, in this case, we did it without the field names, right? So the field names, did it say that explicitly? The field names are not always required, right? It seems like we usually do use the field names, and I guess that probably makes sense, but I do also like to see that, I guess it works without the field names as well. Okay, so enumerations allow a type to have one of a limited number of values. Fun. So here we have a type, and here's color, and it says enum C red, C blue, C green. Is it good to have that C on the front of it? Is that just the convention? Here, let's find the actual NIM website and just cross-reference a couple little things here. NIM programming language. So let's look in here. Basics. Enum. Where is it? Where is it? Oh no! Let me go back. Relatively new. It's not that new anymore, right? It just hasn't been updated. Came out 17 years ago. Yeah, it's not relatively new anymore. Okay. So here they didn't use that odd style. This style stands out to me. It seems unusual. Like color enum C red. So I was wondering if that was going to be okay. I was wondering if that was going to be addressed in here somewhere. Searchable tutorials, NIM by example. Let's take a look. Right here. This guide has not been actively kept up to date since before NIM 1.0. Darn. Okay, so look, here they did use that style. Or do you think it's going to tell us? Okay, so notice that each element in compass directions is prepended with CD, all right, to avoid name conflicts, since references to the enum value do not need to be qualified. All right, that's what I wanted to know. Wonderful. Okay, so orient is of the type direction with the value d north, okay. Pixel is of type color with the value c green. Okay, fair enough, good. Enums are usually an ordinal type. Okay, so we can ordinal means they're ordered, right? Let me see what it says about that. Here. While enums can also have disjoint values, it should not be used for any other reason than compatibility with C because it breaks the idea that enums are ordinal. Because enums are ordinals, they have the low, high, inc, dec, and ord methods defined. Low gives the lowest possible value, high gives the highest possible value. So let's look. Wait a minute. So we did ord, high, compass direct. Okay. Neat. That's very cool. All right. Subranges specify a limited value range. Okay, so 1 through 20. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So if we try to choose a wrong number, the compiler will warn us, right? And say, please fix it or I won't work for you. All right. Arrays are fixed length and indexed by any ordinal type. Very interesting. Very interesting. Truths array. 42 through 44 bool. only an int from 1 to 20 is a valid. So 42, 43, and 44. Counter, roll counter. Okay, possible truths. Possible equals false, false, false. Literal arrays are created like this. Arrays are fixed length. Okay, so that distinguishes them from the sequence, which you can alter the length, right? Possible 42 equals true. Ah, the Great White North. No, don't go there. Okay. Counter sub my roll plus equals 1. Okay. They incremented it twice. That's got to be an error, right? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Okay. I mean, an error on the part of the person who wrote the document up, right? Like, I don't think they intended to have that twice. Or if they did, there should be some reason, like a comment explain. Another array. Default index starts at 0. Good. More data structures are available, including tables, sets, lists, queues, and crit bit trees. Ooh, interesting. Very good. Very, very good. I/O and control flow. Okay, so read any good books lately? Go to your local library. Carry on then. Is that what you would say? Hey, read any good books lately? Ah, yes, yes, I did. Carry on then. All right, so that's great, I assume. Okay, so while if continue break, we're getting closest to the bottom. I'm thinking of a number between 41 and 43. Guess which? All right, so we chose one. Variables in nim are always initialized with a 0 value. Oh, yes, yes, I had asked that earlier, right? But I didn't look it up. If raw guess is blank, continue. String parse int raw guess, okay. The first thing I think is, okay, so what if they put in something that's not parsable as an int? Okay, so here we got it right, I guess. Yeah, so is it just gonna break at runtime if you put in something that's not parsable as an int? It's okay. I feel like we could use a little cleanup or explanation on a couple things. Iteration. All right, so we can go for, oh, very good, very good. For lm in. Nice. But what if we just want the lm? Do we just have to ignore this with underscore? I mean, that's fine if so. I would like that to be made explicit. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go procedure. I'm gonna go to the exercise now. Okay. So what do we do in this exercise? Write code that shows how many grains were on a given square and the total number of grains on the chessboard. Okay, so on square takes an int. This one just returns a uint64. So here, I guess we return, and do we have to use the return keyword? See, when I got down to here, I was like, okay, so return here. returns nothing. Hmm. A confusingly named useless operator. What's with result? Can access an implicitly declared variable named result that represents the return value. Huh. That seems a little crazy. I guess it's cool. I don't know. Hmm. I'm not prepared to understand all that right now, but let's just say, so result equals 2 to the power of n. I think that I might use this one. Let me look at operators. Huh. Nim manual. There's kind of a lot here, huh? Can, is there a nim REPL? I seem to remember that there's not. We could do eval. This is Yeah, this is a lot in the manual, right? I think we can use a bit shift just like normal. Um, huh. Goodness gracious. So this is interesting. So I get the so to me this NIM manual, it feels like it is meant for like just reading the whole thing. Is the way it feels like it's written. Kind of. It seems a little hard to find anything in here because I haven't read it. Um, but some documentation, like Python's documentation, you don't have to read the whole thing to be able to find anything in there, in my opinion. All right, let's search. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. It's a draft. So this is the NIM manual. So yeah, like obviously, like it's just like any programming language. Like if you're gonna do work with it and be productive, like I think the intention is presumably that you should read the whole friggin' manual, right? But I'm not trying to do that to solve one exercise on exorcism, right? That's kind of the thing. I just had a thought. If we go on JetBrains and say, hey, I want to do NIM coding, what do you think it's gonna say? Sure, I don't mind accepting some cookies. All IDEs, choose. Okay, so there's a good amount of languages here, right? Java, wow. That glow effect is actually pretty based. That's really nice. Okay, JavaScript, C Sharp, Rust, HTML, CSS, C++, Ruby, Python, C, R, SQL databases, PHP, Scala, Java, Go, VB.NET, TypeScript, Kotlin, and F Sharp. Wow, okay, yeah, that's a good amount. But NIM, of course, is not here because we know, like, so this is a list of 18 languages. Well, Exorcism has 77 languages, and Exorcism is far from exhausted. There are literally hundreds of languages that see substantial use in the field of computer programming, right? And thousands if you include relatively obscure ones that aren't used much or at all. Um, so which of these are closest to NIM? Python, C++, JavaScript, TypeScript. I think NIM is intended to commonly be compiled to JavaScript, I guess. Let's see if that's in the manual. NIM manual. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh wow. Anyway, so which one would you choose if you're trying to do NIM? NVIDIA NIM, Nimble, Nimble, NIM language support plugins. Let's head right there. So this is plugins, 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 plugins. I think, yes, these are all, I believe, separate plugins. They all have different numbers. This one has the lowest number. It's a 4-digit number. NIM language support. Okay, JetBrains Marketplace. Ivan Petrichenko has NIM language support. No update notes. 1 rating. Another one that you can look at is like dev containers. This is an interesting project, I think. So, what are development containers? As containerizing production workloads becomes commonplace, more developers are using containers for scenarios beyond deployment, including continuous integration, test automation, and even full-featured coding environments. Each scenario's needs can vary between simple single-container environments to complex orchestrated multi-container setups. Rather than attempting to create another orchestrator format, the development container specification, or dev container spec for short, seeks to find ways to enrich existing formats with metadata for common development-specific settings, tools, and configuration. All right, so where do we find if there's one for NIM? Reference? Like, just help me choose a dev container for NIM. Oh my goodness, wow. Huh. But truth is, I don't think they have any particular support for NIM, because NIM is just, it's not in the top tier of languages, right? When we looked at the JetBrains thing here, they listed 18 languages, and JetBrains, let's go back here. JetBrains.com, developer tools, all IDEs, choose, and they list these 18. These are I would consider this to be basically the top tier of computer programming languages. Is anything missing here that would be considered top tier? I don't think so. I think that these are the top tier of programming languages if we're tiering them by like productive usage in industry. I'm not, is VB.NET top tier? It's pretty much the same as C#, I guess, but I don't think many people use this over C#, but maybe more than I think. Maybe I just am not aware of it. Yeah, I think these 18 represent pretty much the top tier. If there's one that's missing here, I would say maybe Dart. But I think Dart has possibly fallen off a little. And Swift. Swift would be another one. Swift should be considered top tier, I think. So that one is missing here. That's a notable omission. Possibly Dart. Dart has maybe fallen off a little. So I would say if you were to add Dart and Swift, this would be a good top 20, I think. R is a little niche compared to the others here, maybe. But, I mean, out of the whole list, I mean, isn't F# kind of niche too? Well, I mean, so we've covered all of the .NET languages, right? C#, VB.NET, and F#. Should PowerShell be in here? It's a different category, right? Or Bash, that's a different category. Yeah. If there's any notable omission here, it would have to be Swift, in my opinion. Probably the most notable omission off the top of my head. R is the one more than any other that feels a little out of place. Let's see. I mean, they're saying PyCharm for R. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe it's good. Maybe here, let's explore. So the only Python IDE you need. So why do they list R and then take you to a Python IDE? What's that about? There's nothing about R here, is there? I feel like R was a little bit out of place, because it seems senseless for you to say, okay, I want R, and then it takes you to PyCharm, and then you go to explore, and then there's nothing about R here, right? So it's kind of nonsense. So that's the one weird one, but like, if we were to look at any of these others, like Ruby, RubyMine, it's for Ruby, Rust, Rust Rover, C# Writer, JavaScript WebStorm, CLion, PyCharm, CLion. Yeah, this one doesn't make sense. This one's out of place. DataGrip, PHP Storm, IntelliJ, Goland, Writer, WebStorm, IntelliJ, Writer. Yeah, I think all of those make sense except R. I think it's out of place. All right, so... Oh, and some of them are marked free for non-commercial use, and some of them are not. So RubyMine is not free for non-commercial use. Wait, let's look at the whole list, the complete list. And the thing is, all of these, they are pretty much the same, honestly. They come with just like different features sort of bundled into them, but they're pretty much the same program, just configured differently, I think. All right. And CLion is free for non-commercial use, so that's cool. So what do we know about this one? Cross-platform for C and C++, cool. For safe and easy modern C++, cool. CLion does the job. Editor, code analysis, very neat. Toolset, integrated debugger. This seems very powerful, I think, when you use them. The cool thing is, like, when I used to use IntelliJ at work, like, the debugger is so good that I would just use it all the time. It's just so good, right? When you don't have a debugger that's that good, like, I don't use debuggers much. Like, even in Chrome DevTools, the debugger is excellent, to be quite honest. This debugger, it's really, really good. But IntelliJ's debugger is a lot better. So, like, I use this one, and it is good, but with IntelliJ, I use that debugger all the time because it's amazing. But that's been a while ago. Alright. It's been a while ago since I used IntelliJ. So, anyway... So, I'm looking here at nim. Let's look at primitive types. Instead of these, the XOR and or shift right and shift left operators are used respectively. Cool. All right, so let's just do that then. So let's just say, we're going to say 1 shift left by n. Is that right? I'm not sure. Whoops. Let me look at the README again. So square 1 has 1. So no, if we're going to shift left... Yeah, okay, so the number on each square doubles. So it's going to have to be by n... Wait a minute. Let me check the test file. Test. So grains on square 1, so they pass in 1, we give back 1. Okay. So we're going to shift left by n minus 1. So if 1 is passed in, then we won't shift it. Is that going to work? To be honest, I'm not sure. But then here, we are going to... Can we do a list comprehension or something in nim? Let's see. Oops. Nim programming language. Sequence comprehension. Okay, tutorial part 1. Maybe the tutorial is where it's easier to find things quickly. I'm probably just going to use 4, though. Okay, so we're going to use 4, and I guess count up? Sure, okay. 4, I in count up, and we count up from 1 to 64, I guess. And then do we use a colon? Result plus equals on square I. Okay, I don't think that's quite right yet. I feel like, I don't know, weirdly unconfident about this one at the moment. It's fine. So, help. So we're gonna do nim r test. Okay. Type mismatch got int. Oh, expected uint 64. Really? Okay. That's not it, is it? I don't think so, but let me just see. Oh, that was it. Okay. So now we just need to wow, okay. That was pretty close. Okay, so not bad, not bad. Not bad. Not as bad as I was imagining. So we just need to add a few exceptions. So, if n less than 1, and then let's look in the tutorial for exceptions. Okay, so here's our tutorial. Except. Is it error? This is tutorial part 1. Let's look at tutorial part 2. It looks like there's a lot about it. Okay, here we go, exceptions. Good. So we're going to say raise E. OS error? Interesting. Huh. Okay, let's just try it. So we're going to try raise... oh wait. It says expect failed, no exception was thrown. Oh, so does it say which exception? Okay, let's just look in the test then. Which exception is it? Value error. Did it say that? I guess not. Okay, so we're just going to raise value error. Okay, let's try it. Raise value error. Or n greater than 64. Must be int from 1 to 64. Got string, but expected value error equals object. Okay, so I did it wrong. So when we raise, raise statement, okay, so what did I try to do? I said raise, and then I put value error, and then I tried putting this in. But that's not the way they did it there. Here they said var e ref os error. Then they said new, and then they added a message, and then they raised. For the purpose, the template new exception in the system module can be used. Okay, so let's try it exactly like this. So we're going to say raise new exception. We'll choose value error. And we'll choose this. Is that better? Okay, killing it, killing it. So we'll submit that. Or actually, hold on. Okay, let me look. So nim, programming language, command line format, auto format. So nim format, let's see if I've got it. Nim format, num format. Nope, not there. Nope. Nim pretty. Don't match up to the level of usefulness as black. Darn. Can we do snap search as well? I feel like it's not going to be in snap for all places, but find. What does that do? Queries the store. Okay, snap find nim format. Snap find nim pretty. And ah, what a comment. Okay. Um Anything wrong with nimpretty***.nim? Yes, it simply does not work. Oh, they're on Windows. Well, what do you think is going to happen? Ugh. All right, so nimpretty. Nimble. Okay, so do we have nimble? Ah, cool. Wait, what is NPH? Oh, so we can install. Can we search as well? I like being able to search. Okay. Nimble search pretty. Nimble refresh. Nimble search pretty. Nimpretty T. Let's see. Use nimpretty with tab indentation. And then let's see. So, oh gosh, there's a lot here. Nimble list. Oh. Is that everything? That's crazy. More pretty? Does more than nim pretty? Nimp sort? Alright, which one do we like? More pretty or nim pretty underscore T? Alright, let's do nim pretty, more pretty. So nimble, install, more pretty, and let's see what we get. So when we do install, okay, so now is more pretty, okay. Okay, so there it is. All right, ready. Let's submit. Oh, let's do exorcism test. All right, so I'm working obviously quite slow today, and I feel kind of okay with that, even though, like, obviously, if I work slow every day, I'm never gonna actually finish the challenge. I might speed up later on. Okay, so that one is good, I guess. Or is it? Shoot, what's happening? Processing, processing, processing. Oh no! It says, oh, it says passed here. Okay. Mark is complete. Okay, let's move it over in the spreadsheet. Is the spreadsheet here still? Okay, so that's nim grains. Sweet! Alright. Resistor color. So this is obviously a very simple one. This one is available on 65 different tracks. And I've completed it in one language. Food chain. This one's an odd one. Oh, here it's listed as medium in batch script. I don't... Is it a medium in batch script? It might be harder than I realize. It's kind of an annoying one in my opinion. 50 different languages for this one, and I've completed it in 4. So I do consider it kind of an annoying one. Let's see how my solution in Haskell looked. This is my favorite track. This is my favorite track from the whole entire playlist. I'm just gonna sit here and appreciate for a second. Okay, so where was I? So, yeah, so this was the animal one. I don't know, it's kind of goofy. Like, if I knew Haskell better, I'm sure there are a lot of ways I could make this look neater. It doesn't look neat at all. It looks stupid, honestly. Maybe it's okay. It's kind of a stupid exercise too, in my opinion, a little bit, but I'm sure I could probably make it look a lot better if I just knew a little Haskell. Proverb in 54 different languages. I completed it in JavaScript and VimScript. Proverb. Okay, so this one's like the old lady swallowed a fly, but just smaller and therefore like less annoying, but all right, let's see what other ones I have grains in. So grains. So this one is scheme. Do I want to do grains and scheme? Let's look, sure, let's do it. So we're going to do learn x and y minutes again, and we're going to look for scheme. Wait, scheme is not here? How is this possible? Scheme? Scheme of all things is missing? That seems a little crazy to me, actually. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. I guess, well, you know what? In that case, I kind of wanted to read it here. So in that case, I'll just come back to it another day. What's the other one? This one is Dart. Okay, let's do Dart. I think Dart, if not top tier, is at least second tier. It's just high second tier. So, learn Dart in Y minutes. Dart is a single-threaded general-purpose programming language. Oh, huh. Single-threaded, huh? I didn't realize that. It borrows a lot from other main... Is that true? Where's the Dart website? Dart programming language. JS interop. Dart the platforms, native and web. So WASM and JavaScript, cool. Native, great. Concurrent programming using isolates, independent workers that are similar to threads but don't share memory, communicating only through messages. Yeah, so that does seem a little bit different from single-threaded. Can we find some more information? Isolates. Core. You should use isolates whenever your application is handling computations that are large enough to temporarily block other computations. The most common example is in Flutter applications when you need to perform large computations that might otherwise cause the UI to become unresponsive. So JavaScript is single-threaded, right? We kind of take that as the way it works, but we do have web workers even so. So like, there's a little bit of fuzziness. So is an isolate like, so if we compile Dart for web, does the isolate turn into a web worker? It seems like that seems like a reasonable inference, maybe. Although it's very cool. That would be very cool if that is how it works. So this is, yeah, this is not super important, obviously. But yeah, let's just go back. Okay, so streams, futures, generics, first class functions, static type checking, web, CLI, desktop, mobile, IoT devices. What is this? Dart's most controversial feature is its optional typing static type safety and sound type checks. What do you mean what a way to introduce this thing. Dart type system. This is the most controversial feature? What a way to put it. Like, I don't understand. What's controversial about it? Okay. There's a good amount here, and there should be. It's a popular programming language. Quite a few examples and everything. Was there something about a worker here? So it doesn't look like there's anything about isolates here. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. So let's go to grains in Dart. So grains, as we saw, is quite a simple exercise, like many of the ones I've been doing so far this year. Let's just hop in here. And we're going to go to Dart grains. Whoops. Okay. All right, big int square and big int total. Cool. So I guess I'll just do it kind of the same way. We will return, well, we'll first say if n less than 1 or n greater than 64, throw bad argument. And otherwise, we will return, and I have no idea. I'm just doing it like JavaScript. I mean, but I think it's going to tell me it's wrong. But we'll get there. Return 1 left shift n subtract. Okay, and then here, named constructor. I like the hints. They're coming up quickly. I'm not sure. Try using one of the named constructors. Okay. So a value of type int can't be returned from the function square because it has a return type of big int. Named constructor. Okay, let's look. Dart programming language, big int. Let's look for it. Big int. No? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Big int. Okay, so we'll just do from whatever, and then can we use a bit shift on it? Let's just try. Big int from. How's that? Okay. And then let's choose, I guess I'll just use a for loop. So I'll say, let t equal 0 for let I equal 0 or 1, I less than equals 64, I plus plus, t plus equals square I. Term t. So we can't say let. Is it var instead? And then in the, so we run it by doing Dart test. All tests passed. It looks like it skipped 10, right? Okay, so -3. So we were supposed to, let's see here, through bad argument, not an instance of argument error. So we're going to throw argument error, square must be between 1 and 64. Square must be between 1 and 64. I was supposed to use a small s. I think that's the only difference. Let's see. All tests passed. Okay, so now let's just look it up here. So Dart, programming language, command line format, auto. Dart format. Dart format lib. Okay. Did it change anything? I don't think so. Okay, fair enough. Okay, passed. Cool. So, I guess I'm going to skip the scheme grains for today. So let's go to a different exercise. Square root? 52 different languages, square root. Interesting. So we've got it in Prolog. I'm not trying to do Prolog today. Scrabble score. I've got Scrabble score 6 times. That's crazy. Let's try to knock it out several times. Okay, so I've done it in 3 languages previously. We did it in C, did it in Python, and did it in Scheme. Okay, cool. And we're going to do it in 6 more. That's going to be amazing. I guess. I mean, it's a pretty simple one, but it's not the simplest. Like, Leap is the simplest, probably. Scrabble score is pretty simple. I don't want to do it in Reason ML right now, but maybe before the end of the day. What else have we got? Rock? Oh, I haven't done anything in Rock yet. Okay, let's hit Rock for the first time. So this is the Rock programming language. Let's try to learn something. So I did the Hello World yesterday. 331 students, so it's one of the less popular tracks. That's okay, not everything has to be popular. Let's read about Rock. Rock is a modern, fast, and safe programming language designed for building reliable software with simplicity in mind. With an emphasis on performance and minimalism, Rock brings a fresh perspective to the world of functional programming, aiming to make it accessible and efficient for developers. The main features of Rock. There are 5. Number 1, simplicity and safety. Rock is designed to reduce common programming errors through its type system and by enforcing immutability by default, which leads to more predictable and maintainable code. Okay, interesting. Very nice, very nice. Optimized performance. Rock's compiler is built to generate highly optimized machine code, ensuring that applications run fast and efficiently. That's good, baby. That's good. No nonsense dependencies. Rock encourages simplicity not just in code, but also in dependency management, aiming for minimal external dependencies. Hear, hear. Clean syntax. Rock's syntax is straightforward and easy to read, drawing inspiration from modern functional languages while stripping away unnecessary complexity. Interoperability. Rock is built to work well with other languages, making it easier to integrate into existing projects. Well, that sounds very ambitious. It sounds like a winner to me. So let's click this link here. And then let's look at some of this information. Okay, a fast, friendly, functional language. So we did install. Okay, nice. Rock tutorial. Oh, I should use this font. What is this called? Permanent marker? Oh my goodness, I should use this one. This is cool. Where do we get the permanent marker font from? It's on the site itself. Permanent marker. Let me just look that up. That's one of the most eye-catching fonts I've seen in a while. I love that. Okay, it's right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, that's one of the most eye-catching fonts that I have seen in ages. Uh, it's a shame it doesn't appear to have lowercase, but whatever. That's really cool. Designed by Font Diner. Calligraphy informal. Feeling cute. So they keep updating this Google Fonts website. So the Google Fonts website, it's great. It's the best place to get fonts basically for the web. I do wish that they had like more to help us find fonts. So if we choose feeling cute, then it will pick a bunch of these, and then we can add another one, right? For like calligraphy informal. All right, so that filters it down to 129, and then we can add handwritten. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. Like I can choose informal and I can choose handwritten. But what about both? And 129 is still too many. So what's a good way to filter it down more? $19. Okay, that's much better. And there's permanent marker. Okay, okay, cool. So meow script, Leckerly1, New Wave, Crafty Girls, Column, Mr. Defoe. That permanent marker, man, that really works for me. So if we're looking for another one that's kind of similar, I mean, obviously these are all kind of similar. This one stands out. That one's nice. Anyway, tutorial. We have experimental AI friendly text files that you can use to prompt your favorite large language model to answer your questions about rock. The REPL, or you can run rock REPL in the terminal. All right. What was I even looking for? Actually, you know what? What I should be looking for is to actually just start on the exercise, probably. Okay, so here it is. It says module score, score string to use64. A word gets passed in, and then we need to pass out a number, which is going to be the word score. All right? All right, seems straightforward. Let's look at how we score it. Okay, so I believe we just have to add up the numbers, right? So, so this does look sort of like Ocamly or Haskell-y or whatever, right? Kinda, right? Like, looking at this much, it does seem to be kind of in that family. Midwestern Shree Wizard 52W0. Thanks for the chat, buddy. All right, so Scrabble score. So I did it before in what? Python, Scheme, and C. So let's look at how it looked in Scheme. I seem to remember that when I did this in Scheme, I had no idea what I was doing. It's just kind of the case all the time, but even less of an idea than usual. And I came up with a super ugly. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is unbelievably ugly, right? So I said if the string can. Oh my gosh. So looks like string contains must have been a built-in that was in this RNRS, which I think is some kind of Scheme standard library. Scheme programming language. Yeah, what is RNRS? Revised report on the algorithmic language scheme. Wow, okay. So anyway, we imported that. And then, yeah, so then I was just like, okay, so we're gonna fold. Okay, so that makes sense. And then if it's one of these, then I'll say 1. If it's one of these, then I'll say 2, right? So obviously extremely nasty, and that's just what I did. And you can see it's not formatted at all, right? So I didn't find an auto formatter. I don't think I bothered to look because I did this one pretty early on. So, pretty nasty. So, to be honest, I don't want to do this one in rock first. Let me find another one. Let's try and do all the Scrabble scores by the end of the day, maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. Here it is in Common Lisp. Here it is in Cold Fusion. Here it is in Batch. And here it is in Arturo. I kind of wouldn't mind giving Arturo another shot. I'd kind of like to button up Arturo and put it to bed, if possible. So let's paste that. Okay, so it says score function word. Please implement the score function. All right. So here we just want to iterate through all the letters in the word, right? And I don't know. And add them all up. And I mean, that's it. That's it. So in the word count, did we do something like that? Sort of, right? So we loop split sentence word. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this will tell us basically what to do. So we will loop on, where does it say split over here? Oh. Oh, it's so... Oh. Wait a minute. What just happened? Okay. So we just want to go loop split word. I guess that part gets blocked. And then C, right? And then we say, I guess, case C. And did we try using case? I don't know what's in Bob at this point. I think I thought about trying to use case, but couldn't find a good way. But basically, I think if we do case, then we do what? That's not really going to help. Let's just do... So we'll start by saying S0, and then we'll add to it, right? I was just looking at Arturo yesterday, and I already don't hardly remember anything. Let's see. So we did split, and then there's something about contains, right? Or in. Right? So we'll say if in C, and then we'll choose the letters that we want. So we'll do A, E, I, O, U, L, N, R, S, T, right? And then we want to add to S, right? And that is... Do we do set? Like, do we do set S, S plus 1? I don't know. Okay, so let me try putting this into the playground and see what the heck it says. Okay, so if in, it says empty literal value. Empty literal value. I think these are supposed to be double quoted, actually. Are they? Probably. Is that better? Okay, so no output. Score high. Print score high. 0. Okay, well, it's not supposed to be 0. We should add h, which is 4, and I, which is 1. So it should say 5. So we did loop, split word C. Okay, so let's print C and see if that shows something. Okay, so that's not right. That's insane. That's craziness. So it's not supposed to be like this. Let's say, whoops. Okay. So this was not it. Let's say chars split word, and then here let's use chars. Does that make more sense? Not enough parameters. Three required. Set s. Okay, so it's not set. Or is it? Let's start the interactive console. So I think that's really all we want to do. I was trying to guess something nonsensical. So let's say wherever we have set s, let's get rid of that. So we're gonna go replace set s. Well, that part is fine. So then this is just gonna become this. Oh shoot. Let me try again. It looks like it matches. There we go. So now what do we get for this score? Five. Okay. So that's correct. Let's try running the test. This part is a little crazy, but Arturo tester art. Okay. Hey, it ran. That's so much better than Bob. I still don't know what was wrong with Bob. But yeah, so let's unskip. Okay, so we failed a couple. Before I look, do I know which ones I failed? Um, to be honest, I'm not sure. So let's look. Long mixed case. Oh, how was I not thinking about cases? Okay, okay, it's cool. So I guess we're almost done. And we're done. Amazing. So how did we do the formatter? Or did we do a formatter? I don't think I did figure one out. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just going to run this and then submit. This whole exercise is starting to feel weirder and weirder, right? Like these are such simple things. It's just like we're trying to do all these different programming languages, and it's starting to feel more and more like senseless. Like they're just these tiny, tiny little exercises, most of which are very easy. But like the thing that's not easy, at least not for me, is trying to do them in a lot of different unfamiliar programming languages, right?